Hi again, everybody. Welcome back to Luther Family Forward. We're here for our November salute to law enforcement. One of the highlights of our week at Flag Family Media is to join with Joel and his team and celebrate and salute and say thank you to the men and women who serve us behind the badge. Joel, this is always a highlight for us. I know each month you enjoy it too.
Yes, it's a lot of fun, and it feels good to let the guys out there know that we're behind them and we support them. So
Yeah,
I think it's a great thing.
Well, today we are saying thank you to a whole bunch of people from the West Fargo Police Department, and they are the agency that we're saluting here in the Luther Family Forward Salute to Law Enforcement. And we typically say thank you in particular to one person who's gone above and beyond, but really what we're doing is we're saying thank you to Chief Otterness for your leadership and everybody on the staff there at West Fargo PD. We appreciate you, and we're so thankful for your work. And like we always say, when one part of our community is under good, solid law enforcement, that means our whole community is doing well. So thank you to everybody, West Fargo PD, for what you do and all the great work that you're doing in our community. My name is Steve Hallstrom, President, one of the owners of Flag Family Media. Glad to be here with you on AM 1100theflag.com and WDAYradionow.com for this ceremony here today. We want to, as we mentioned, say thank you and celebrate one particular person here today. So would you please join me in giving a warm welcome to Detective Derek Werner, our honoree in the salute here this month. And we also want to welcome Jenny, Derek's wife, to be here today. You don't have to come and say anything, Jenny, but thank you for being here, and thanks, too, for supporting Derek and all that you do within your family, too. So welcome. Thanks for coming here today. We're glad that you're with us today. All right, I got a little bit of information about Derek that I'm going to read for you, our biography, and let you know a little bit about Derek here. The West Fargo Police Department has selected Detective Derek Werner as our November nominee. Detective Werner has been a West Fargo police officer since 2014 and was selected to join the Investigations Division in 2018. In addition to managing a high volume of cases in need of investigative follow-up, Detective Werner also represents the West Fargo Police Department as part of the Internet Crimes Against Children and Human Trafficking Task Force. In February of 2021, Detective Werner was following up on an out-of-state ICAC cyber tip for luring a minor that led to the arrest and subsequent charging of Ronald Thompson, a former high school teacher. The investigation revealed possible charges of possession of child pornography and solicitation of a minor. In October, a trial was held in District Court and Thompson was found guilty of luring a child by computer. Detective Werner's time, dedication, and thorough investigation ultimately led to Thompson being charged and convicted. The investigation of these types of crimes requires a high level of professionalism, compassion, and perseverance, and not only impacts the victims and their families, but it can significantly impact those responsible for investigating crimes against children. We are fortunate to have Detective Werner serving the citizens of West Fargo and the greater metropolitan area. Please join me in saying congratulations to Detective Derek Werner. So Derek, did you always want to be in law enforcement, or was it something that hit you later in life?
No, actually I did. From early on in high school, I've always had the interests. Originally, I kind of wanted to go into federal law enforcement, but then once I got into it, I kind of enjoy the municipal side of it and the small town side of it. So,
what do you like most about your job?
The people, the team, the family, the citizens. We get so much support in this area that a lot of other departments may not get, and it's really nice to have.
We get to watch a lot of TV programs that talk about law enforcement, that kind of thing. We know the job is much different. What do you think people don't know about the job of doing investigations and detective work that maybe they should know?
It's not as easy as it always looks. On TV, you always see these investigations getting solved and convicted within an hour. Yeah. That's not exactly how it works. There's a lot of things that have to go into it. And it's not as easy as it may look on TV.
Yeah. You have a few members of the team here today. What does it mean to have the support and the camaraderie of the people that you work with at the West Fargo PD?
We have a great team, great department, great leadership. Couldn't see myself being anywhere else.
The work that you do in investigations, it's not always pleasant work, right? A lot of law enforcement work isn't. How do you leave that at the office when you head home and kind of put behind the day? Because some of the stuff you're dealing with is pretty nasty stuff when you really get into it. How do you leave that behind?
You really don't, honestly. I mean, it's something that you carry with you everywhere. I mean, it's hard. it's a lifestyle. It's not just a job.
Got to be very satisfying, though, when you're able to get through a case and you're able to figure out what happened and provide some clarity and resolution, especially maybe to family members involved. That's got to be really meaningful. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, it can be very, very rewarding once you get convictions and once you can tell a family that you figured out what happened and help them through some bad times that they've been through in these cases. So.
Yeah, really good. What did you do for training to learn a little bit about how you were going to need to do your job? How did you learn the job and the investigative work? How does someone learn all of that?
Well, we're constantly going through training, whether it's on the patrol side, in the investigation side. We're constantly getting better and trying to better ourselves and learn more about what we do through many different types of training. So we're constantly training and trying to develop better skills to better ourselves.
Very good. I'm going to walk over here and talk to the chief here for a minute. So just give us a sense of what this guy means to your organization and why he's being honored here today.
Yeah, it was a really easy selection to honor Detective Werner. He's a really valuable member of our investigative team. He's our detectives all carry a significant caseload. We've had an interesting year in West Fargo with some high-profile things going on, and he's just one example of the great work that gets done in there day in and day out. And so our community is better when we have people like Detective Werner and his partners and the people that work in investigations out there doing their job every day.
We mentioned we're really saying thank you to the entire police department there in West Fargo. Give us a sense of how many team members you have at the department, how many people work there and do the good work that you're doing in West Fargo.
Yeah, so as of January of next year in 22, short time from now, we'll be up to 69 full-time police officers. So that's we've risen in a couple of numbers since I've gotten here just shortly over a year ago. So, and then we've got people obviously assigned to investigations on a rotational basis. And so those people kind of transfer in and out, bring some of their skills when they're done investigating crimes back to the patrol division or other leadership positions or other opportunities within the department. So, but again, fortunate we've got a great team over there in investigations. Lieutenant Warren does a great job running that division along with Detective Sergeant Runcorn. He's here today as well to support him. And so it's a great team over there, and they do a tremendous job for our community.
Chief, if you would, give us a sense of some trends in West Fargo. What do we in the community need to know about what's happening in West Fargo and some of the things you're maybe seeing a little bit more of these days?
Well, we're fortunate as of last year, and I think this year will be very similar that, as opposed to some of the national trends that you've seen going on with violent crime spiking and really increasing in metropolitan areas, we're fortunate our violent crime has been on the decrease. Our city still is continuing to see tremendous growth in West Fargo, and so we're seeing calls for service increase, but fortunately those aren't calls that where we have crimes against persons or persons crimes involve violent crimes. We do have property crimes that continue to increase, low-level shopliftings and thefts, things like that, accidents and different things that our police officers respond to every day. But overall, we have a very safe community. We have a very supportive community. Detective Werner pointed that out earlier. We're very fortunate to enjoy not only a ton of support from the flag and from Luther, which we're very appreciative of, but the people in West Fargo really make it a special place to work with the support that they give us day in and day out, our elected officials there.
Well, God bless for the work that you and your team do, and thanks for keeping our community safe, Chief. We appreciate it very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. We really appreciate the recognition. It means a lot to our people. Yeah. So.
Well, we know that everybody's a little humble, a little reluctant on being in the spotlight, but just know that all of the members of your team certainly are in our thoughts and prayers each day, and really thankful for the work that you do, and wish we could do this every day to celebrate the great work that you do. So thanks again.
Yep, we really appreciate it. Thanks.
So coming up in just a few minutes here, we'll be taking some pictures and concluding the rest of our ceremony here. We're going to be also having a version of this on the Flag's morning show, the Need to Know morning show, coming up in the days ahead. Luther Family Ford is also donating a $100 gift card, and that will be given to a nonprofit or a charity of a Detective Werner's choosing, and so that will be going to a place where it's definitely needed and can be used in the days ahead as well. We also have a section on our website on am1100theflag.com where you can see information on all of the honorees since back to when we started this program about 5 years ago, and you can check that out there as well. In our news organization, I like to say this each time that we do this, we give the benefit of the doubt to the men and women who serve us behind the badge badge. Many times action is taken and it results in a story that makes the headlines, and it's easy to jump to conclusions before we all know the information. And in our news organization, we're committed to making sure that the benefit of the doubt is given to the men and women who would take action and do that in the interest of protecting our community, and that will always be so at our operation. At our stations that we do here in Fargo and Moorhead and West Fargo as well. So again, we want to say thank you to everybody here at Luther Family Ford. Joel, thanks so much for having us over. And one more time, let's give a round of applause to Detective Werner for all of his great work here. We'll see you back here next time on AM1100theflag.com and WDAYradionow.com. Take care.